Today we are going to learn about iterator, list iterator, that concepts, and these concepts are very, very, very important. And if you are using the sale point or any other technology also, keeping the objects in the keeping the objects into the array list is important thing, and array list or any of the collection framework from there telling bringing up the object from the uh, vertical collection is also very much important. Now we are going to see that how we are will be doing that approach. We will be doing that approach. Now let's create an array list. From there, how we can bring it out the objects and all.
So I've just created one array list here. I have created an array list here. I wanted to bring out the elements from here. First, we'll see that from the syntax how we have things are there. So first of all, if you create any of the collection object, this is my collection object. So where we'll keep the object, that is called a collection object. So collection object, and we can apply that collection object this iterator. So what it does now, returns an iterator over the elements in the list in the proper sequence. This we'll call as a, some people will call as a cursors also. Different cursors available in the array list or tar and all. So I have created a list. From there I wanted to get it. So I'm iterating. Here is the list iterator. I have one more cursor, list iterator also there. Okay, and I'm just getting it. So iterator is there. I have it here. So whatever it comes, it is going to be iterator only. If you doesn't know, okay, here if you see iterator is that returning is a iterator. See this iterator. So iterator is there, and you can do control one. I just doing control one, automatically I'll get the iterator. Whatever the objects is there, the object type is the string object, the string objects I'm getting it. So this is the things, and now I wanted to get the element from there. I wanted to get the element from there. And if you see in this iterator class, whatever the methods are there, those we are going to use it. See, this is the way that I'm just seeing that iterator is there, and the iterator is an interface having a few methods. Those methods only we are going to use it. Has next remove methods only we are going to use it here. You got it right. And now I have created this is this iterator is a part of this iterator is part of a list, and that is returning one interface object. Interface is being implemented. So what are the methods is that those methods we are seeing that. And has next, what it is, it returns true if that iteration has more elements. So I wanted to iterate all, so I can use this while has next iterator object. Whatever the iterator object is, that iterator object dot has next. And I'm just checking that whether the objects are there or not. Then inside, and one main object I wanted to get, it is there or not, it is checking that. Now I wanted to get element means next method is going to be help me to get it, returns the next element in the iteration. So I'm just using sys dot output, and has next, I have has next, and I'm just checking it. Happiness is there. I am going to get the elements from this list. I am going to get the elements from this. So one by one element I am going to get it. So this is the way I am going to use that and get the elements and all. This is the way I am going to. First, all the Alva is there, BMW is there, Ford is there, Mazda is there, and one by one element I am iterating it. One by one element I am iterating it. So that is the reason. It is going to be first time it is going to pick up this value, and the second time this is going to pick up this value, third time, fourth time, like this it is going to pick up all the values from the values from the array list. Okay. all the values from the array list. Here, this is where I'm going to get the values from the collection framework. Okay. Now I wanted to iterate. I wanted to skip one iterate. I don't want to. Don't want to iterate from Volva and all. I don't want to iterate from Volva and all. So I wanted to skip an element. So first outside itself I can keep it. I don't want to print from the wall. I don't want to print the vulva. So I'm just keeping first itself outside. I'm just keeping it as a one iteration I'm doing. I'm moving to the next object. I'm just moving to the next object. Now let me go and run this. Let me go and run this. I have moved it. Now I'm just moving on it. So see this. BMW onwards I get it. Why I have taken the collection framework? The collection framework reference I moved to the next object. So that is the reason I'm going to come to the next object and all. So when you have taken this, when you are taking this array list and array list, how it is going to store? This is going to store like this. Values are going to store like this. Values are going to store like this. So values are going to store like this. And whatever the elements you are there, and when you apply these values are going to store like this. Array list object is going to store like this. So if it is, I have taken one example a b c like this, but in fact if you are taking this name vulva is going to store here. And next thing about it, bmd revenue is going to store here. And ford is going to store here. And this particular company is going to store like this. Now I have stored all these objects like this. I mean, like all these elements is going to store like this. Now, when I use this iterator, when I use this method called as a iterator, when I use the method called as this iterator, and I use this method called as iterator, when I use this method called iterator for this object, automatically all these elements is going to return and keep this here. All these elements is going to return and keep it here. Iterator object, I can keep anything. Okay, all elements like this also I can keep it. All elements. Okay, and just I have taken object and I have to give it. All elements is there, and I'm just iterating here. uh, all elements it has written. So all these elements is going to give it, and it is going to keep it as a cursor. It is going to, you will call it a cursor also. So all these elements is going to have it. And I wanted to skip the first element. That is the reason that okay, iterator, I'm just moving one element. All elements are next. So what is the reference is going to move from initially. If you are not keeping that, if you are not keeping this, the reference always starts from here. The reference iterator moving reference is going to move start here. If I give this all collection, all elements, that next element, that time what is the reference is going to move from here, and iteration will happen from here only. So this is the way it is moving the element from one object to other object and all. So one object to, now you have learned about you iterator. So you have used this. I wanted to remove one specific element. Remove from the, okay, if I do this, I wanted to remove it. Okay, it is, you are just whatever this element if you have moved, that particular amount is going to remove it. So I wanted to reiterate and remove all elements. Okay, now what I am doing it here, I just, I have not in this method. I didn't have any of the giving the position and all. But if you give remove method, it is going to just remove that particular cursor position, whatever is there, that particular element is going to remove it. So I'm just giving, I wanted to remove it. So remove, what is happening is I'm doing it, remove. and I'm just checking it has nest, any elements is there and all. So if I do this remove, what element is going to remove it and all, we'll see it first. Elements that has nest. So some methods you need to be remember, no other approaches. Yeah. What is happening it? Remove method. It is printing on it. 19th. Okay, it has printed all the elements, and after that I'm trying to remove it. Okay, I'm trying to remove it. Illegal operation. So why it has thrown the remove method element and all. So what exactly it is happening it if you see here, if I after removing that I um, let me add it as print statement. What is happening we'll see here. Elements remove I applied and I'm just keeping it. Why I wanted to see that why I got the null this error and so I'm just commenting here this one. I'm just going to see that after remove what is happening it here. After remove what is happening it here. I wanted to find it out. So remove operation what it does, removes that underlying collection of elements, underlying collection of elements. Okay, removes from the underlying collection of the last element by the iterator, whichever the operator, whichever it is iterated last element is having that element is going to remove here. It is going to remove from the particular element from here. So it is checking that last element. So what I did is that we can't use like that. So let me use this way. Okay, okay. I was printing here as this one. I have to print cars. Okay, I was printing cars here. Now what I am doing it here. I wanted to comment here. I'm just doing comment. And to get this, what I did, control shift forward slash icon. Control shift forward slash I have given it. So automatically the comments has come. Let me run it. So I can't use the remove method directly. Let me use this. I have applied this all the collection object. I'm iterating it here. Let me run this statement. What is happening? So I'm printing on it. So one by one element I wanted to print it. I can make use of this way. I'll be covering the remove method later. So this is the way and done. Now I have covered as the iterator object. Now one more collection is there in the array list. One more collection is there. What is the list iterator? That is the list iterator. List iterator is going to iterate the list iterator. So what are the methods is there? We will see here. What are the methods? It has many methods. Remove method is there and has nest and all. If you see here in the iterator, okay, in this iterator, I didn't have a method in the traversing. In the traverse, I can only move forward one object, one by one object like this. I can only move forward. Whereas a list iterator, I have methods. So by giving that next, I can go has nest and has previous is there, and I can go back and next is there. Next index, whichever the position is there, that position I can go with. Whereas the iterator I don't have a position to go to the next one specified position. I can't go it. Whereas the list iter I have a position like I can specify that I return the what position that particular element is there. That element I can get it, not position. And what is the position that particular position is there. That is the returns the index of the element that would be returned by the subsequent next. Which position from which position you are getting it previous. If you wanted to go back, you can go back and from the list removes from the list that last element that was written by the next and previous and it is like it is not removing any element whatever it has removed from that particular next operation, whatever it is happening, that particular element you wanted to remove from the list, that time we are going to use the remove method. I'll be covering that. Let's see that. Okay, first we will use the iterator, and here I am going to use only forward left, whereas a list iterator, what is the things we are going to do it. You'll see that. So it is said that he is remove user, and now I removing it. So let me use collection object. Let me collect it object. Just commenting. I wanted to comment here. How many lines you wanted to comment? You can comment it. So the control shift, I'm giving it, and I got elements. I'm just doing it has nest, has nest. I don't want a nest. I will just need. I wanted to move to the next element, and and I wanted to remove that. Remove, remove the. So first of all, I am just before creating collection object, I am printing it. So before using the iterator, and after removing operation, after after remove after remove operation. So what is happened? I have told you that whatever you have written first iteration, whatever it is that particular element is being removed from the iteration, that list and all. So has nest is there, and this is what it is saying, that removes from the list the last element it was written by the next or previous. So what I did, I have taken the collection object, I went to the next object, and after that I removed this operator. I applied the remove method. So when I do the next element, that time what it is going to definitely it is going to return the this object. It has given that. Okay, and what is the next, what exactly next method is going to do? Next method is going to return the e means particular object, whatever is there. E is the iterator object, it is going to return the iterator object. I can print it also. So whatever it has given that particular element, if you wanted to remove it, the next object is this method is going to be useful. So this is the first, it is printed has nest I did it, and that particular object is written, and I applied the method called remove method. So this particular method, what is the from the collection, the particular object is going to remove from the array list. And the same way it is going to apply for the vector also. Vector, how to create a vector? If you see, I wanted to create a vector, and the vector also it is applies the same approach. I am just doing vector declaration, just typing vector, and this collection framework will be there in all the places. Iterator, cursors, these general cursors will call as a cursors. So I'm just adding here. I'm just creating as a my cars like this. Control H and cars. I wanted to remove it. And here a direction is there. If you wanted to update in the backward or forward and all, I wanted to do for the forward, and it will go into affected all. So I'm just keeping selected lines, control F, I'm doing it. So automatically it is there. I wanted to have this my car. So replace all. I did it all. Wherever the car is there and it is updating it. What happened? So now let me run this program. So iterator. Now I wanted to you to observe this vector having this iterator is there or not. We want to see that. First, I am trying to see this. I am trying to see the show you the classes. Vector is there. Vector. So this is the vector, and you can open here vector, and we have this classes under iterator is there. See, this is the iterator. Okay, and iterator is there in that release class and vector also. Same methods you can make use of it. Same methods you can make use of it. Okay, and to observe that Maruti and Honda and Polo. So I'm just iterating. I wanted to create a iteration. So what should I do it? I have taken the whatever the collection is that collection object, and I am going to use a method. Okay, I wanted to create the all the elements. In the last program we have used one approach. Now I'm using a for each approach. For each approach. This is called for each approach. Okay, whatever the object is, as a particular object, you can take it. Whatever the particular object, whatever the object's type is stored, that you have to take it. It is showing the string object. So I'm just taking string and it is a cars, right? So I'm just giving cars colon and all collection reference, I'm just giving it. And now I'm going to print it out. SYS and control space, I'm doing it. I am giving this car. So this is the called as a for each approach. For each approach. So I'm just printing out all the values. So all the values, it is Maruti and all has printed out. Okay. Now in this case also I wanted to, and this is the way I am going to print, and I also can apply this while loop also. I can also apply the while loop also. Let's see how I can make you implement it. While and same the reference and has next. The reference has next. My cars has next. I have has next, right? Has next or not, I'm going to give it. So I'm not getting a haziness. See this? I forgot to directly I'm applying the class and vector. I'm trying to get a haziness. I'm not getting it. Why? I have to get the first iteration of these things. I wanted to get first iteration. For that one, I had to apply the iterator object. Iterator. So I got this object. Then I have to apply the iterator and it is going to return the iterator. So iterator. And after that, this iteration is there. On top of it, I have to apply the has nest method. On top of it, I have to apply the has nest method. So what you have to remember, the always you have to take collection. Collection on top of it, you have to use the iterator method, and it is going to return the iterator class. Sorry, it is an interface, and it is going to iterate from the interface object. You are going to make use of it as an nest while, and this is my iterator and has nest. Now I'll be getting it. Since dot output of println. Next, now I wanted to print it out. Right? I'm taking this object. It is going to print it out. It is printing it here. I want to make the difference. So I'm just adding here as some special characters so that you can easily identify that. You can easily identify it. Okay. And here I'm just printing one by one element. I am printing Maruti, Honda, and all the elements. So you are printing it out. And whatever you are removed that elements, if you wanted to remove it, whatever it is printed, that element you wanted to print it out, you just keep with this method as a array has that hasness that nest remove. I am applying it automatically. It is going to remove from the collection. And once it is print completed, I will print it out whether it is really removed or not to show that whether it is removedly or not to see that I'm just printing it out. So by this time it should be empty as per my series. It is removed. What it does, it is going to next element whatever the previously it has iterated, that particular element is going to remove from the collection. That is the reason it is become empty. Okay, let's see that. This is the way you have learned about collection framework, and we will see all the methods, most of the things.